Hello folks, welcome to the next installment of Let's Play AGEOD's Civil War. Last couple turns were really exciting, we had some great victories, and I think we might have this game in hand, although it's far from over. If I click here on the objectives screen, we can see that our total combat losses are just short of 30,000. The enemy's is more than 51,000. So they've had more than 20,000 more casualties than us, and that's quite a big difference. We've also taken 13,000 prisoners. So we're doing good there. And that's sort of reflected here. Our current morale number is up to 113, and theirs is 81. So, they won't lose until it hits 25, or we won't win until it hits 185. So we got a long way to go. But this is a really good indication that we're doing well. These morale numbers come into play in little ways. I believe, let me click on the financial tabs here, I believe when you issue war bonds, for instance, you make more money by issuing bonds when your morale is high. And when you call for volunteers, you get more conscript points when morale is high. Oh, look at this. We have an option here I forgot about. There's an option to start raising colored volunteers. And if I click this option, we'll get 12% more conscription points whenever we get conscription points. I assume that was what it says. Our conscription potential will be increased by 12%. I'm going to take it because I'm a old softy and just can't help but raise colored volunteers to help in the Civil War. Something totally appropriate about that, no matter the cost and victory points. So I'm clicking it. I wish I had noticed it was available earlier. So on to the turn. Here in the east, we seemed to have a bunch of Confederates massing here around Harrisburg, which they just took. What I'm going to do, I have a few corps in the area, and what I'm going to do first, I'll pull Crittenden up to York, just sort of to keep an eye on him. I'll take Keyes and pull him back to Harper's Ferry, because I was looking and I noticed that his supply units are getting a little short on supply because he's been up here in the mountains for a couple turns. He can get to Harper's Ferry in one turn. Harper's Ferry is a depot, so he'll be able to stock up while he's there. And then I think I'll pull either him or Kearney up here to help at York. Another thing, this 3 divisions I raised up here in Boston, all the troops are ready. I was able to put 2 of the divisions together under Meade and Reynolds, double day. I want to give him a division too, but he's not activated right now, so I'm going to have to wait on him. And I'll railroad these troops down. We have some broken railroads around Media and above Wilmington, so I'm fixing those as we speak. But I don't know. Yeah, it'll take these guys a while to get past Philadelphia because of those broken railroads. So I'll just get them so far as Philadelphia. And then once these railroads are fixed, I'll pull them all the way in, probably to York. I'd like to gather 2 corps here in York. And just for fun, I'll pull Irvin McDowell up there too. So I'll have 2 corps plus McDowell in York to deal with what's going on in Harrisburg. That is sort of assuming these guys don't move. I don't know what they're about to do, but they could start moving around, going north or heading towards Philadelphia or something. We'll find out. But if they stay put, I'm hoping to mass a bunch of people in York, take Lancaster back, and then move in on Harrisburg and see if we can't crack that. Finally, here in the east, I'm going to do this. I'm going to take these ships, and I'm going to send them to attack that Confederate force that I can't see what it's made of, but it's been sitting in the Chesapeake, and it's just sitting. It's been there a couple turns. This may be a mistake. By attacking them, I may force them to land somewhere or do something bad. I have no problem with them sitting there till the end of the war, for all I care, but I feel like I should send these ships against them and see what happens. Maybe we can get us a victory there. So moving to the west, I'm reorganizing my forces here a little bit. Here's George Thomas's command. I've taken away his division, given it to Sheridan, and I'm going to give him a corps. So now he's a corps commander. I've also given him Sherman's old division. Unfortunately, the 2 generals I sent here I'd love to give McPherson that division, but neither of these two are active, so I'm going to have to wait a turn before giving one of those two guys a division. And then finally, Rosencrantz here is active, so I'm going to send him up here to take care of that little force, hopefully. And I'm going to send Sherman off in that direction as well. I gave Sherman these 4 special units to go along, and I'm going to have Sherman take control of these 2 divisions plus this special brigade when he arrives there, and have Sherman lead the 2nd Corps of the Army of the Ohio. The 1st Corps will be Thomas, the 2nd Corps will be Sherman leading these troops over here. So, and I also gave Grant 1 division just to sit with him and make sure he's protected. Remember, a long time ago I was talking about the advantages of corps and marching to the sound of the guns. That doesn't work only between corps, but the Army commander himself will march to the sound of the guns. So it can be useful to give the Army commander a division or some other units in case he wants to help out in some battle happening in a nearby area. So I think that's all I want to do for now. Try to clean up this guy. I'd love to send Thomas against Madison, but I think I'm going to wait until this division gets organized. I don't want to send him in with all these troops disorganized. Heading further west, things are mostly quiet in Missouri. Albert Sidney Johnston looks like he might be heading towards St. Louis again, but he's just been sort of jumping around this area for so long, I'm not sure I could take this seriously. But I don't know, maybe he'll actually attack something this time. Heading down towards Lyon, we've taken Little Rock. It looks like we've taken it with a garrison unit for free, so that's nice. Now, there's one thing I need to point out about Little Rock. First, I'll pull back a little bit and show you how our supply line's still intact. From St. Louis to Rolla to Springfield to Fayetteville to Fort Smith, all of these are depots. They're all connected here with regions we control militarily. So I think all these are constantly getting resupplied with stocks. And finally, supply is moving over to Lyon here in Little Rock, I hope. Now we hit a dead end here in Little Rock, because if I hover over it, you'll see Little Rock is no longer a depot. I think it once was. I assume it was. But they must have blown the depot or something before they left. So Little Rock here is not a depot, and it's not stocking up supplies. My plan is to take Lyon and send him here across the Mississippi towards Vicksburg and Jackson, but I don't think that'll work really well unless Little Rock's a depot, so that he can pull supplies, at least for a little while, as he's in this region. He'll stop pulling supplies when he gets too far away, but at least for a while I want him to be able to get supplied from Little Rock. So we need to make a depot. You do that by clicking this button, and that starts them building a depot. It takes about 1 turn to build, sometimes 2. I'm not sure exactly how that works. And when a depot is built, it uses up a supply wagon. So you see that Lyon has 3 right now. When the depot is built, he'll only have 2. That's sort of no good, because as he walks this way, when he gets past his supply line, he's not pulling supplies from Little Rock anymore. He'll only have 2 supply wagons to eat out of. I was hoping he'd have 3. But still, that just causes a little problem, but I don't think it's insurmountable. What I need to do is get Joe Hooker moving. If he can take Jackson and maybe secure a region or 2 above Jackson, that'll be enough for Lyon to get across the Mississippi and hopefully reach Union-controlled areas where he can pull supply from Jackson from New Orleans via Jackson before he starves to death. So I hope all this is possible. So what I'm going to do is build a depot here, and I'm going to take Hooker and start him moving up. So we're going to move up and attack Springfield. I still don't see any defenders in it, so hopefully this will fall quick. And that's the first step in Hooker moving up and taking Jackson, Mississippi. So here, let me turn that filter off. So I think that's all that's going on this turn. Let me hit pause, and I'll let you know if anything happens during the interturn. Okay, well, there were no battles or anything during the last interturn, so here we are on the next turn. I'm a little disappointed in the results of things here. First off, this naval attack I tried, yeah, it simply forced Beauregard here to land on the peninsula here. What is it called? The Delaware Peninsula that contains Delaware. Anyway, yeah, so now we have Beauregard loose in this peninsula. We'll have to take care of him at some point, but I don't see how much we can do about him because we have all these units still here around Harrisburg, and Joe Johnston decided to take off here and besiege Newark, New Jersey. Uh, so we got people scattered all over the place. Unfortunately, nobody around here is active. Crittenden is not activated. Keyes isn't activated. Kearney isn't activated. So here's Longstreet's small force sitting in Lancaster, and I'd love to just attack him right now with Crittenden's force, but Crittenden isn't activated, so I can't do that. So I'm still busy fixing the rails in here in the media area. And so next turn, once they're all fixed, I believe I'll take Franklin's group and move him here to York, and one of these corps and move him to York. And then I'll have all my troops massed up to retake Harrisburg and deal with Joseph Johnston. Hopefully Johnston doesn't move too far, like towards New York City, because if I lost New York City, that would be a disaster. Although New York City comes with some very strong garrison units to begin with. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. Nobody's activated right now, so there's not much I can do. Moving to the west, you see I already took care of the bird's nest of moves I'd like to make here. I've organized this corps under Sherman. This is the troops that used to be under Rosecrans. And here's Thomas's corps. And I believe what I have here is Thomas heading off towards Madison to retake that town. I have Sherman moving into Cincinnati. Sherman's group is a little tired because they managed to just about take care of these Confederates that were sitting there for a while. These Confederates moved down here, but they did lose a battle in the process. And I'm moving Grant here right into Louisville with his one division. He'll join the other division that's there to make sure we have that secured, and have himself in Kentucky for when campaigning begins again next year. As you can see, the snow has hit. Let's see what else. I'll take these boats and put them in Cairo to let them rest for a while. Not much going on in Missouri. Van Dorn is around here somewhere. Oh, I've lost track of him. But there he is. He's hiding out in Fort Smith right now. But he's been bouncing around, taking these small towns. I don't think I could really care. Stand Wattie has popped up with his Indian troop, so he'll be doing a lot like what Van Dorn has done. Not much I can do about him right now. So here in Little Rock, we finished creating the depot, and now we have nothing but snowy swamp between us and Jackson. And I don't know if I'm terribly interested in walking Lion through here in the dead of winter. It may take him too long, but I'll at least start. I'll move him here, and we'll see how that goes, and then maybe I'll move him one more region and see how that goes. But I don't want to push him too far because I'll just pull him back if it appears that slogging through here will take him too long. Finally, I have Joe Hooker moving up one region after having taken Springfield, and I'm moving this division to defend Springfield, leaving New Orleans almost defenseless, except for these forts around it, and the fact that anybody that wants to go this way will have to go through Springfield. So I'm hoping I have this covered so I can leave just this tiny little unit in New Orleans. Anyway, we could always pull Hooker back along this railroad to defend New Orleans very quickly. So, yeah, let me pause it, make sure I didn't forget anything, and I think we'll do the interview.